we should be live now. Hello to everyone joining us today, and we are back for some more action as Websons takes a flight over the cone there. But yeah, we are back for round 8 of the GT Sport League here around Monza today. So a very iconic track, very old track, and once again, like it's been throughout the whole of this season, I'm joined by my main man Isaac Smart.
You're right, guys.
And yeah, we're gonna get, well, qualifying has already started now, and we'll be seeing who will manage to grab pole position today in the GT Sport League. Going to be very close today, I think. I think this could be the closest one so far. Quite a short track is Monza. Going to make for some great overtaking, some great passing. Looking like it's in the night time, isn't it, Isaac?
Yeah, the track is looking really nice today. It's a bit cloudy out here, but I'm sure that won't affect the racing that will be going on track in the actual race. So the drivers are all just bunched up at the moment, getting ready to start their first hot lap of the sessions. But Ben, back to you. Who do you think will be wanting to keep an eye on today?
Well, I think from last week, seeing Dan Schneider manage him to get, I think he ended up like P5 at the end, around P5, P6. Really strong performance from him. I can see him doing extremely well here today. Obviously, Play Dutchy is we've got to keep an eye out for. Is the drivers staying very close to the right-hand side pit wall there as they get ready to go on their first flying laps. All staying very close to each other here as they get ready to go on their flying laps here. As the Holland champion going through in the flying champion's car. And yeah, we've obviously got to watch out for Dutchy, the man who is leading the championship by a huge margin at the moment, and he's definitely going to want to try and grab pole position here today. Hopefully a better weekend for the Forget-Me-Not racing. They didn't have a great weekend, did they, last weekend?
No, they really didn't. They've kind of lost their form.
It's Jetsy getting it all wrong. Cryptek's lost it!
Cryptek completely lost it.
And he almost... So lucky that it was ghosted there, because there was huge contact, and that's Cryptek, and someone had to back off their lap there. I think that was Jetsy as well. Jetsy is back for this weekend. Had to have a replacement driver for the previous race, and just let Websons go through there. As yeah, unfortunate for Jetsy. I'm not sure if he had to back off because of the contact with Cryptek. But yeah, he's just backed off his lap here, and Websons is a replacement driver this weekend for
joining
Topstar.
Us again, as he did last weekend as well. Not sure where Topstar is, but hopefully he'll be able to make the last few races of this season. I'm really interested to see this battle that's going to unfold between Toussaint and Dutchy. As Oriole has just lost it as well, just completely lost the car in parabolic.
Oh yeah, he has.
Hit to the escape road. But yeah, now back to the topic. I'm really interested to see how Toussaint will fare against Dutchy, because Dutchy is looking like he's been the fastest driver really in this league. But Toussaint has been on proper form as well with a few. He got that win, didn't he?
Did last week.
Yeah, really fast driver.
Yeah, hello to Pierrick and DCM Barracuda in the chat. Hope you guys are all doing really well. And we should have a really good race on our hands today with 11 minutes left of qualifying. It's Dutchy who's managed to grab pole position for the moment, but he's struggling on the rear there as they make it through the first of the two Lesmos. Oh no, not the first of the two Lesmos, sorry. Is it the no? Oh god, I really can't remember the name of that chicane now. I'm going to have to have a look for that one, but yeah.
Is it Ascari?
It must be, I think it is. Oh no, that's the one coming through the middle sector. No, that is not Ascari, I meant. But yeah, Tim Graham making his way through the second. Lesmos might have to pit. I think he's going for another lap here. Dan Schneider currently down in P7. Hello to Black Country Mush in the chat. You turn notifications off. Is that in the settings here? I'd have to turn these ones off. I just have to do that on my settings quickly.
That's really unfortunate for him. But that being said, him and Bonnie looking after their first lap, looking quite fast. They may be able to do way better than they've been doing previously in the other races.
Yeah, definitely, and Bonnie Evil currently in P5. Tiger Assassin managed to grab pole position last week, and a very good weekend for the BCMR team, who are still leading the championship in this league. As some of these drivers going back out to start their laps. Now Bonnie Evil wanting to get ahead of them though, I think, and get the slipstream right at the front of the pack here. Coming out the pits, Daniel Gardenzi also exits the pits, and it wasn't a great weekend for Websons last weekend as the replacement driver for the Interodata racing team, and he's definitely going to want to do better this weekend as his teammate is currently on provisional pole position. Hello to Shirtless Timmy, nice name. I'll turn off I think my notification shouldn't really be coming through too much. I think it was just from the Group B guys who were having a few issues with getting their lobby open, and that should be streamed on, I believe, Sunday. It's normally restreamed. There's a massive queue into the first Lesmo here, and lucky no one's on their fastest lap.
I think Natty was, and he had to, I think he backed out of it and took to the escape road that Leclerc made Hamilton take. Here in 2019, I believe it was.
It was, yeah. Good memory there.
Yeah, good.
But who lost it in the Sauber going into Turn 1 in 2018?
Oh, that was Marcus Ericsson.
It was. Wow, big drive to survive moment there. But yeah, Toussaint currently in P4. That's not the best qualifying so far for him. But I just love that BCMR livery for their car. I think it really suits them. They've got Natty actually posted up, or I think it was Toussaint actually that posted it, but it was their Group 2 car. So this is the last race that we will have in the Group 3 cars, and then we'll be going to the Group 2 cars next week, and I think it's Bon Evil's going to be using the Lexus for the Group 2 cars, and she posted up a livery of the Forget Me Not Racing, and it looks really, really nice. You're going to be in for a real treat once we get that livery going. It looks beautiful, it really does. Who's your favourite livery out of these ones? I've got to say that it's got to be between... Oh, and Dan Schneider getting it all wrong into the first corner there, and just has to take to the escape road there like Vettel did in the 2020 race, and just lets the rest of the pack go through there. And that's the great thing about league racing. Once you get it wrong, people give you a lot more respect and kind of let you go, rather than if you're in an online lobby, I'll probably be taken out by now. But Jetsy actually goes P2 for the moment. This is a very solid lap from him there, coming back from not racing last week, and actually sets a purple first sector. So he's looking on fire today in that Aston Martin, as the Aston Martin is just very quick in a straight line. Timgren currently in P3. But he's not on the best lap here so far, because he's right at the front of this train, so he's not going to be getting the slipstream off anyone ahead of him, and he's got Natty tucked in right behind him. Looking like Bon Evil's got a lot of pace here, actually. And Natty gets it all wrong.
He got it completely wrong there for Ascari, and had to cut to the gravel. But I was just riding on board with him quite previously, and I noticed he got another slowdown penalty, and he had to give way to, I believe it was a Timgren. I can't really remember, but he's just getting his laps completely wrong. He messed up the first one, and now this second one. So,
and Jetsy actually has a slowdown penalty, so he's obviously made a mistake on his lap, maybe just cut the corner a little bit too much, and he was on for a very good lap there, so it's a bit unfortunate for him. But Shirtless Timmy saying, I'm not sure what your gamer tag is on PSM, Shirtless Timmy, but I was watching the Group B, and I really like that Martini racing livery. I want to have a look for what the Group 2 one will look like, as these guys are starting to set some times now. Cryptech not managing to set a lap yet. I think someone was just backing off there. I think it's Websons there in BMW. As Ifen is also quite far down the grid for him. Of his standard, he's normally quite far up the field, and since we've moved to these Group 3 cars, he's not really managed to keep up with the likes of Dutchy, Toussaint, Tiger, the guys we see at the front. And Timgren's been right up there recently, hasn't he?
Yeah, he really has. But what's just caught my attention is
Toussaint just went off.
Lost.
I think
I didn't quite catch that. But what's caught my attention is the man at he finds himself at the back of the driver's standing with 11 points is Jetsy, but currently sits in P2 right now. So what a good lap that was. Hopefully he's going to try and go faster and hold off the likes of a Timgren, Bonnie and Natty, all very close there.
Yeah, definitely.
Not a lot separating these drivers.
Yeah, I think we're seeing Play Dutchy, who is on a fast lap, I believe, at the moment. Only 3/100ths separated him and Jetsy, so that was a very solid lap from Jetsy there, as actually Play Dutchy pulls out and makes the overtake on Bon Evil as he makes his way through Parabolica, very close to the line there, and I don't think you actually get an invalidation if you cross the line there, but going to see what kind of lap time he's going to set, and he goes a 10th quicker than he managed to set before, so very good lap from him there. And Holland Campion manages to put his car on provisional pole position. Wow,
what a lap from Holland Campion there.
And that is the furthest up the grid we have seen him so far. Very solid lap there, putting a 1:45.5. So is this Dutchy domination potentially coming to an end?
Could it be a double Dutch podium? Starting
double Dutch podium.
Yeah, double Dutch. Dutchy would do.
And sorry, the Homan native Daniel Gardenzi, the only Italian I believe we have on the grid, is currently up in P5 as well.
Good laps from these drivers who usually find themselves in the rear end of the points. So hopefully, hopefully they can just keep this up and secure their best finishes of their Gavra season. Yeah, the battle at the front will also be quite close as well, as Natty and Tiger getting involved as well.
Jetsy, sorry, shirtless Timmy in the chat has put Jetsy is speed. It just taken me back to like the old days when I used to watch Cars, and like it's like I am speed. It just made me laugh. I can feel everyone can have pole in this track. Definitely, I mean it's a lot closer than we've seen it previously so far on the rest of the tracks. I think this track just promotes great racing. Look at how close it is between Natty and Bon Evil, the two teammates there in the Forget Me Not racing. It's what's it, 11,000. That is insanely close. And then 700 between Toussaint and Tiger Assassin. So the Forget Me Not Racing and BCMR brothers are right next to each other on the track as Natty and Daniel Gardenzi come in for a new set of tyres. I think Timgren will do the same, as Cryptek does manage to put in his first lap of the session. Only good enough for P12 for the moment for the Coca-Cola Racing team, and not been a great time for them now they've been in the Group 3 cars, as he just completely cuts turn 1, and as does Play Dutchy as well. There. And there's a huge pile-up almost.
Jesse had to avoid Toussaint there really drastically, swerving the car from left to right, and nearly made contact. I don't believe he did. He has no damage, but yeah, that was really close between them. Loads of traffic down in turn 1, but anyway, only a minute and 30 seconds left of this qualifying session, and Dutchy is just going on his outlap now as well to try and challenge Holland Campion, so it'll be really close today here at Monza.
Yeah, and it's just surprising front of the field so far, as Dutchy's actually got a slowdown. He's actually only on his outlap, but yeah, these guys are going to get ready to go for their final flying laps here. But so far, Toussaint, the race winner from last week, is down in P8.
I know, and not having his teammate Tiger behind in P9.
Yeah,
BCMR gonna have to do all sorts in a race if they want to be going for their standard podium finishes, really. So,
and Dan Schneider, my driver of the day, well, our driver of the day from last week, P10.
Dan Schneider will just have to do wonders in the race, exactly like BCMR, really. Just have to work their way through the field, maybe figure it out with strategy or going longer on tyre sets, I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll definitely have to be conscious of their track position.
Yeah, and it's Dan Schneider, I think he's just on a lap here as Toussaint puts in a lap time.
Takes pole. Oriol.
Oh, wow.
Was just running in last and has just snatched pole from Holland Champions. That has just spoke wonders to these guys here who are looking to improve on their lap. But either way, give credit to that lap. It's Tiger now snatching pole.
Wow, so. Tiger! What a lap from him!
That's the usual finishes for BCMR. Have to keep an eye on his teammate as well.
And Dan Schneider actually improved to P5. So we've only, with 1 minute 48 now for these guys to complete their laps. Oh, Bon Evil getting it all wrong through the chicane there as she comes towards the first Lesmo, and that actually might impact Toussaint's lap, and she goes off. Unfortunate for Bon Evil there, and she's down in P10 at the moment. So it's so
Daniel Gardenzi as well, P8.
I think that was that Cryptek going on. I think it was, and who's that? Timgren getting all sorts of out of shape as they head towards the second Lesmo. And Jetsy is now dropped down to P7 after his very good lap. So it's still a good lap, but demotes him down to P7 for now. And Dutchy is on his final flying lap. What's he going to be able to do here as he takes it through the Ascari chicane, heading down the straight towards Parabolica? I'm going to see where Dutchy manages to put his car. And currently very close between himself, Holland Campion, Oriol, and there's literally like 2/10 between the top like 6 or something. That is crazy close. So a Timgren down in P6 at 1:45.6, and Dutchy does go pole position by 2,000th of a second ahead of Tiger. Wow.
Timgren was really close there to getting P5. That's unfortunately he didn't grab that, but P6 still a good qualifying position for him, but
wow,
got to give it to Oriol here.
Look at that. There's 2/10 between the top 6. 2,000. I think that is the closest qualifying I've ever seen on this game. That is insane. 2,000ths of a second. But Dutchy manages just about to grab pole position. Tiger in second. We had Oriol, a surprise to be at the front of the grid. Holland Campion taking P4, Dan Schneider in P5, Timgren in P6, Jetsy in 7th, best qualifying for him. Daniel Gardenzi up in P8, the Italian there, and Natty in P9, Bon Evil in P10, Toussaint in 11th, Ifin in 12th, Cryptek in 13th, and Websons in 14th. But here we go, Play Dutchy leads them away then, but Tiger gets a very good start and he's already ahead of him, and Oriol has actually jumped Play Dutchy at the start, taking the inside line there, and has managed to make his way up into second place, and now challenging Tiger potentially into the first corner, but just doesn't manage to get that there, and he's going to stay right up behind him. And now Holland Campion trying to go down the inside of Play Dutchy as they all head towards the next corner. Toussaint, I think, got a bit bogged down at the start. He is down in P9 at the moment. And Natty and Jetsy going wheel to wheel towards the chicane, and Jetsy just manages to slot ahead of him for now. And there's almost a bit of contact. There's a huge pile, and Jetsy's round. And from a great qualifying session, he's done a Vettel. He's literally done the exact same as Vettel.
Just got caught up in all that traffic there, trying to get past him, and unfortunately just made a bit of contact. But anyway, moving back on now, Dutchy is looking like he wants to get past Holland Campion, who's maintained. Sorry, he started 4th, so he's gone up a position there into P3, so good start by Holland Campion. As there's someone pulling out to the right hand side back there, I believe it was Daniel Gardenzi, who probably made a move on Websons. But what a start that was, and once again really bad for Jesse.
Incredible start, but Dutchy's actually dropped down a couple of positions, so not having the best of starts once again. Didn't have a great start last time out in Sardinia B, but man, he's still up in P4, so still a good chance of getting some
Dan
points.
Schneider is looking to get past the Timgren.
He is.
And he's getting squeezed, and just it's no room for him there to send one as Timgren saw that move coming a mile away.
But maybe that was a smart call. Maybe stays behind as gets a good exit out of Parabolica. and maybe has a go down into turn 1. They're all keeping it fairly clean, apart from Jetsy spinning. Maybe just missed his braking point going down into the chicane. But yeah, Toussaint has managed to make his way past. Bon Evil is now up into P8 as
and
Natty.
Dan Schneider fights this, and Timgren leaves him no room and has to cut the curb drastically, and has done so. And it's just a load of time is now Dan Schneider still looking to get past him. But,
how close is
and
this?
I think
Look
he
at
has. He's made that move up and he's gone P5.
And it's so close, almost 3 wide. It's almost 3 wide, but Timgren actually is a big loser out of that one.
Past Natty. Ivan just got past Natty for P9. Bon Evil sends one down the inside of Toussaint, and he left no room there. There's a 3 wide back there. I believe that was Ivan, Bon Evil, and possibly Toussaint again. And, Bon Evil just holds that move on from Ivan there.
I thought Daniel Gardendi was trying to go around the outside of Cryptek there, but just thought better of it. Thought there might have been some contact there if he didn't. But keeping it quite clean so far, these guys. No one seems to have any damage.
Back up to the front, Oriole is just taking the lead. What's happened to Tiger?
Oh my!
Tiger's down in 3rd now. Sorry we missed that move.
Yeah.
But Oriole, what a brilliant race he's having so far. I can't say that enough. He usually finds himself like near the back end of the points, like near last sometimes, and now he's running in 3rd.
And this would be some huge points for them.
Yeah, really good haul of points for them if he can hold this off. But back to the racing now. As there's Tiger making a move on Holland Campion now, and they're getting really bargy as Tiger takes 2nd, and Holland Campion's falling down into 4th as now Dan Schneider has made his way up through the field to take 3rd.
He does, and Dan Schneider is right on the back of Tiger Assassin, and he's having another great race so far here. Pulls out to the side, and Dan Schneider has made a double overtake. He's got past absolutely everyone. He's up into P1, and Dan Schneider takes
Tiger
the
gets
lead.
back past Holland Campion. Tiger goes stud, but Dan Schneider's probably always.
Webson's round. Yeah, Webson's gone.
Completely crashed out there. Got the braking point completely wrong. Overshot it. But anyway, Dan Schneider will probably get another mention on Gavra Instagram for that one.
That's got to be an overtake of the week. Sets the fastest lap of the race.
Gavra, if you saw that, you've got to speak to this guy about that. That deserves to be up there for overtake of the week, and no doubt it's a brilliant move that was.
That was incredible, really great stuff. But Tiger's dropped back a bit now into P3. Holland Campion having a great race as well, up into P4. Dutchy has actually dropped down, so Holland Campion has got past Dutchy, and Dutchy dropping back the order a little bit. Doesn't seem to have the pace around this track. Maybe his BMW is a little bit bad on the straights around this track. I think the straight line speed of it is just not quite up to par with the Aston Martin, which is going to be a great car around this track, and it's proven that way, because out of the top 5, 1, 2, 3.
Always Jetsy and Daniel Gardenzi are going wheel to wheel through Ascari, and Jetsy having the better line. Jetsy and Daniel Gardenzi went wheel to wheel through Ascari, as Jetsy had the inside line and just maintained that position for P12. So that was some good defending on his part, and we're back up to the top of the field. Dan Schneider still leading this race. Looking really, really fast around here. Fastest lap as well. And what's happened to Dutchy though? Dutchy in P5 probably made some contact or something.
He must have. I think Toussaint is going to now have a look for the move on a Timgren. He does. He's staying right behind him, maybe giving him a little bit of a bump draft there, but does pull out to the inside, going to look for the move, but then just slots back in. Bon Evil looking for the move on Ivan as well, and she gets the move done, but then squeezes Ivan a little bit on the exit, but keeps it clean still. And they're still going to go wheel to wheel, but Natty now is looking to get involved in this fight, so maybe helping out her teammate a little bit there is Bon Evil, but Natty just stays behind for now. It's very close racing between all of these guys, but now Toussaint is going to look for the move into the chicane and push it, or it doesn't push him, but he kind of forces him to brake a bit later, does a Timgren, and Timgren has to cut the track a little bit there, and does get a slowdown penalty. I was going to say he might get a slowdown penalty. He does. Gets a 2nd slowdown penalty, so that should allow Toussaint through, but the game does allow you to kind of let the penalties go down itself, and it's got to be Webson's race over, Rick Holt. I think that was some huge contact. I think he's probably pitted.
Toussaint gets past the Timgren then, and Toussaint puts himself up into 6th, and that was a pretty straightforward move. Just Timgren, he didn't really want to fight that.
No.
Just to let Toussaint go on that little straight heading up to Ascari, but good start to the race so far.
I think Jetsy's pulling out on Cryptex, going into Parabolica. Jetsy's going to look for the move down the inside and does get that move done, so good move from him up into P11 after that horrible start for him. Maybe trying to make his way back up the field, and then he's got Natty ahead of him that he's going to be surely chasing down now and make his way up into the points playing positions as Tiger Assassin does grab the fastest lap back, so maybe he has, but actually Dan Schneider,
although he makes a bit of contact with Oriole there, Tiger does. And Tiger's looking really fast around here, possibly even faster than Oriole, so yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye on Tiger there. He's getting really close to the back of Oriole, might be able to send a move anytime soon, but personally I'm going to keep my eye on this race's Dutchy, because he is famous for pulling off those recovery drives, isn't he?
He is,
saw back in that, was it Dragon's Trail, was it?
With the Sardinia B last week, he managed to.
Where was the one where he
like
snatched the lead? Yeah, was it that one?
Nah, he managed to grab a podium last weekend after not a great points.
Where was the one when he took the win when he was battling with Toussaint?
I think that was Dragon Trail. So yeah, they're staying very close together here, and Dutchy's still in P5 for the moment. And Holland Campion doing a very good job of keeping him behind. He's not an easy driver to keep behind, so yeah, Holland Campion having a great race here, and actually has made a bit of a gap between himself and Tiger.
Finn pulls out to the left-hand side of Bonnie Evil. Not enough speed to continue with that move, so he slips back in to grab the slipstream. Let's see what he does going up into Parabolica now. And he just thinks twice about it. Probably thinking 2 steps ahead. Maybe he's going to send one down, get the slipstream, send one into turn 1. But yeah, he's looking really desperate to get past Bonnie Evil at this point in time.
But yeah, sorry, just Pierrot was saying in the chat, what a surprise podium it would be. I think it would be an insane podium, but the thing is, Dan Schneider is on the super soft tyres. He's doing a great job of keeping those tyres in a good window here.
And Ivan did get past Bonnie Evil, sorry.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, into turn 1, so yeah, I anticipated that he was looking really quick back there in PA.
He was, but Bonnie was going to stay right up behind him.
Bonnie is staying right behind him, to be fair. Maybe she's looking to snatch this move back, so you have to keep an eye on that overtake there.
She's not quite close enough to make the move into the
She has a teammate behind as well, Natty, who's not gotten off to the most the best of starts really. Their team Forget Me Not Racing are going to have mountains to climb right now if they want to get into the better points finishes. Yeah, time will tell.
Dan Schneider is on the super softs, but then all of the drivers behind are on the soft tyres right the way down. This is a great camera angle, watching all of these cars go through here onto this Ascari chicane. And Ivan has just ghosted a little bit there. Toussaint currently down in P6, but he is gaining on Play Dutchy ahead, and maybe Dutchy's losing a bit of time, having to stay behind Holland Campion here as Ivan pulls out for the move on a Timgren around Parabolica, but just doesn't do it there. And Bonnie Evil going very wide through Parabolica there, and it wasn't great for her, but Ivan literally so close to a Timgren now. And Tiger is actually looking for the move on Oriole and giving him a little bit of a bump draft, but then pulling out to the inside, not close enough to...
and Dutchy's looking for a move on Holland Campion. Dutchy's super late on the brakes there, and an easy move that was for him, which now finds himself up in P4, but I was just at the back, not the back of the grid, but I was just at P8, and I've noticed that Timgren's picked up some rear end damage. So,
yeah, I saw that as well, actually.
Yeah, that might have...
it allowed Ivan
that might be an issue, yeah, that might be an issue, is he's losing time to front runners, but Timgren may need to pit for that damage and catch his way back up through the field.
Sorry, yeah, and Rick Cole and Pierrot saying in chat that undercut could be huge around here. So if Dan Schneider or
100%
Oriol is able to get an undercut, it could be huge, because you can see how these drivers are able to get very close, but it's actually quite difficult to make an overtake. We have seen quite a few overtakes so far, but it's not the easiest track to overtake at. So I mean, they're staying, all of the drivers are within like a few seconds of each other, and as Natty would say, you can throw a blanket over the whole grid here, really. And Natty down in P11 for now. And now Daniel Gardenzi and Natty are actually going wheel to wheel, and Natty has to back off of that one. And that wasn't the best overtake. I think Daniel Gardenzi was potentially making the move on Natty. I don't think it was the other way around. It looked like Daniel Gardenzi just absolutely sent it down the inside and does actually pick up a penalty from that, I believe. But yeah, Natty now dropping quite far back, and Cryptech has also dropped quite far back from this battle.
Nearly lost the car, sorry, she absolutely drifted that car through Parabolica.
Yeah, she seems to be struggling.
Having the same issue, possibly with the rear end of that car.
Someone's pitted. It's Daniel Gardenzi making an early pit stop, sorry. For the undercut, maybe, trying to make that work, and Oriol has actually managed to get quite close up behind Dan Schneider as well.
Yeah, I noticed that, but Dan Schneider's starting to come under pressure as his super softs are falling off. Yeah. As Oriol is now really rapidly gaining up to him on slightly less worn tyres, so maybe we might see a quick overtake before these drivers start thinking about pitting, as they're losing grip on the track. You can see from their lap times as well,
and it could be
gradually falling off.
So yeah, it could be huge for someone like Toussaint, who finds himself in P5, 1.6 seconds behind Dutchy. If he pits now and makes the undercut work, he could gain a lot of positions here, as he's stuck in this traffic. Has managed to get past Eiffen, I believe, and Holland Campion actually dropping down a little bit now into P7. So from his great start, dropping down a little bit through the field, but it's still very close, still anyone's game here to try and take the win here. And I was thinking about trying to predict who could win this race, but I still have absolutely no idea. I think Tiger's got a great opportunity to potentially get the win. I think he's maybe just saving his tyres, saving his fuel. And yeah, look, Oriol is on a lot less fuel. Dan Schneider and Oriol are on a lot less fuel than Tiger. And Dutchy behind. Dutchy's got a hell of a lot of fuel. And Dutchy, the king of saving his fuel and tyres. And we thought maybe at the start of the race that he wouldn't be able to maybe make the win, and maybe his reign of
I never thought that for a second.
I did.
I was just about to say, when you were talking about Tiger, do you know who's behind Tiger? Dutchy. As you just said, is more fuel, less tyre wear.
Oh, and sorry, Toussaint. I thought Eiffen was maybe going to have a look for the move on Toussaint, sorry, but actually doesn't make the move there.
Always Natty completely just had to cut that chicane, has a large slowdown penalty as a result of that. So that's not what Natty imagined that would happen when he turned his PlayStation on today, but back up to the front of the grid, sorry, as Oriol is just closing this gap to Dan Schneider ever so slightly. It's really it's quite even at the moment. Dan Schneider really maintaining the front of the pace of who would be running him first, so fair play to him there, but we'll have to see what will happen when everyone starts going into the pit stop, as we can see from his tyre wear is looking quite worn, especially his front left there, so yeah, he's probably going to start thinking about pitting soon.
Yeah, and I think it would be wise for someone like I said before, but Toussaint should definitely look at coming into the pit lane. How much fuel does Toussaint have? Doesn't have too much. But might want to think about pitting fairly soon, as Dutchy has now gained so much on this pack, the top three, and he's surely going to be trying to look for
all the two teammates, Tim Gren and Holland Campion, were just wall to wall there, sorry.
Yeah, they are.
And Tim Gren was able to hold him off, but as a result of Tim Gren's defending, he's come under large pressure from Jets, who holds it the long way around Parabolica, and he has a really good line through there, but Holland Campion defending his Jets. He dives into the pits last minute, followed by Oriol, so running out of breath there. Yeah, this is super close at the moment. There's Eiffen sending a move on Dutchy for third, and Dutchy's going the long way around and a little bit of contact. And Eiffen tries to give him a car.
Oh, but Eiffen spun it!
loses the car in the gravel there as Dutchy didn't leave him any room. Dutchy just wasn't having it, got the elbows out, and unfortunately that meant that Finn kicking away the barricades right now, loses the car again, loses the car again, gets front wing damage, and Finn, I feel so bad for him right now, man. That's just not what he thought would happen in that move there.
Gets passed by his teammate as well.
That wasn't clean by Dutchy, I must say.
He thought he was
from my perspective anyway, a car's width wasn't left.
Yeah, I thought he pushed him a little bit wide, but he was trying to take the inside as well, Dutchy, so maybe it was just a racing incident. Could be a steward's inquiry after the race. Only time.
There's not really enough room to be going too wide through there anyway, do you know what I mean? So
where Oriol has been all this time. Oriol has been doing an absolutely insane rate. He's pitted now, finds himself down in P12. He's got fairly clean air though. He's not got anyone ahead of him, but does have Jetsy behind. I'm going to want to make sure he doesn't like fight him too much. He's going to lose time to all of these guys at the front. Surely some of these guys are going to have to be coming into the pit soon. Dan Schneider is going to have to come into the pits
this
lap.
Wrong again. And his car really unsettled through
he's struggling,
Ascari there. Yeah, he's really struggling on those soft compound tyres, no fuel as well, so he's probably going to have to come into the pits. But he had some pace. And now
Tiger inherits the lead of the race. And lo and behold, who does he have behind him? It's none other than Play Dutchy, and he's probably gonna be looking for the move into turn 1. But he doesn't actually. Dutchy stays behind for now. He's got quite a bit more fuel though. He's going to be able to go longer on those tyres. But now Toussaint has actually managed to get his way up into P3 as the rest of the guys have been pitting, but now only 4 attempts behind Play Dutchy, and this is a bit more like the top 3 that we are normally used to. It's very close between these 3 though now, as they were quite spread out at the start of the race, so interesting that they've actually managed to find each other back on the track, and I can't get any camera angles after these guys, and there's a massive, oh my god, there's like 7-8 cars going through turn 1 there, as Tim Gren and Daniel Gardenzi were fighting a little bit there, and Tim Gren just has to yield the position to Daniel Gardenzi. It's very close from kind of P4, and sorry, that's Holland Campion looking for the move on Jetsy. Does make the move there. Is Jetsy going to be able to fight this back into the chicane? Does try to send it back down the inside, but Holland Campion just superior under the brakes and retains that P5 there, and Dan Schneider is currently leading this pack here. So could this pack jump the likes of Toussaint, Dutchy and Tiger? Maybe staying out wasn't the best idea for Tiger. He's going to have to pit surely this lap or next lap. I don't think he'll want to risk it too much. Probably will pit at the end of this lap. Dutchy dropped back a little bit now, maybe just trying to save his tyres, save his fuel, and thinking about the long game, Dutchy, as always. And
yeah, I think
he's going to pit as well. They're all pitting.
I think he got it completely right with his strategy. He had more tyre life than Tiger did, as to just entered the pits. So,
I mean, he's going to have more fuel. Look, he's got 19 fuel, and the 2 guys at the front only have 4. Tiger managed really well with the fuel to do that much lap. I think he did really well, to be fair, did Tiger, but he just didn't have the pace of Dutchy. I mean, Dutchy had a lot more fuel. To be able to keep it that long, he's done very, very well as Dutchy there. Let's face it. I think he could still have the chance of winning this race, but surely Dan Schneider is going to take back the lead of the race with the undercut. But no, Dutchy takes the lead, I think, here, and Tiger also going to come out ahead of Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider makes the move on Tiger, yeah.
Gets past Tiger there.
Oh, but Tiger's going to fight it.
Back, and Tiger's super late on the brakes.
Oh, no!
Completely messes up that chicane.
Oh!
And Tiger takes out that barrier with him.
Jesus.
And spinning there at the back was Daniel Gardenzi as well. Just got the rear end up, but that is so unfortunate for Tiger's race. Super ambitious going down into the first corner.
And
there.
As we were just talking about, I think it's a commentator's curse, because we're just talking about Pierrick saying in the chat what a great job he's been doing, and now finds himself back in P7, and his teammate Toussaint down in P8. And the Tim Gren's actually fighting him into the first.
Not the best of days for Beastly and Mod Team.
No.
And
in a 1-2 last.
And Forget Me Not Racing as well.
Bon Evil's managed to make her way up to P6.
But this is allowed for the top 4 all to be Dutch. This is literally what Dutchy wants.
And then
Dutchy's
P6,
been wanting a full Dutch podium all season, and he's probably going to get it if Dan Schneider and Jetsy and possibly even Holland Campion can get a podium this race.
yeah,
Bon
definitely
Evil,
will be.
gets past Oriole.
Yeah.
Had way better traction there and puts herself up into P5, so that was a good move by her.
She does, yeah, finds herself up in P5, and actually, with all that drama that's been going on, Holland Campion has managed to get up into P4. So a very good race from him so far. Pierre, you've done it. Pierre, do you mean? I don't know who he means by Pierre. Oh, is it? Does he mean about the actual Monza Grand Prix? Is Tiger now looking for the move on Oriole? Try and pull out towards the inside, as Tiger probably a little bit impatient after that contact and does make the move on Oriole. Fair move there from Tiger, good move. And
he's now stuck Oriole in a BCMR sandwich. He may be even trying to just force Oriole to lose a little bit of time, and while Toussaint to catch up,
I've just
get
noticed.
past Oriole. So.
Yeah, I just noticed that, well, I haven't just noticed, when I've been reading the chat, Rick Holt saying that Jetsy's had a great comeback, and he has. He lost it. I remember he lost it on, like, the first lap. He's now up in P3 fighting with Dan Schneider, the two teammates.
What a recovery drive he's having.
I can't exactly remember what their team... I'm just going to have a quick look. I'm pretty sure that their team is... RS Racing, yeah, it's RS Racing, but the RS Racing team currently P6 in the championship, right at the bottom. But I mean, some great racing from both of these guys today. Normally find themselves towards the back.
They find themselves on a podium.
Yeah, and Dan Schneider having
Jetsy
another
is
great
looking
race.
to get past Dan Schneider, so the teammates battling it out.
Well,
anytime now really is Jetsy staying in the slipstream. Is really pull out to the right hand side to have a look into Parabolica. Doesn't.
Well, Jetsy has lower fuel,
keep
and he has the super soft tyres on, so no team orders so far, but surely Dan Schneider shouldn't fight this one too hard and let his teammate through, as he's surely going to be faster on that much grippier rubber, and going to see if Jetsy's going to look for the move. They should kind of let him go and try and challenge Dutchy, because then if they can try and disrupt Dutchy's race a little bit, maybe they can get Dan Schneider, because he's on these soft tyres. Maybe he'll be able to get a really good result here, and if Jetsy's able to fight Dutchy, that'd be great for the team. And,
yeah, I think that would be the smartest decision, to allow Jetsy to get past Dan Schneider there, as he's looking a bit faster on those super soft compound compared to his teammates. So, we'll just have to wait and see what Dan Schneider decides to do. Will he let him pass, or will he fight him for the position as he's entitled to do, really? So we're going to have to wait and see for that one. But Tiger looking really close on the end of Bon Evil there. Tiger really impatient to get past, and maybe even looking for a move into a story coming up next corner. But just moving to the back of the grid, I'm just trying to see where people are. Daniel Gardenzi not having the best race here today.
He had a great qualifying, but dropped back quite far now.
Yeah, clearly no race pace today, which is unfortunate for him. Followed by Webson, the replacement driver, who hasn't gotten off to the best of starts either here. But back to you, Ben.
Yeah, he's not had the greatest of races so far, but Natty finds himself down in P10, another one that hasn't had the best of starts to this race. Still 25 minutes remaining, so a long way to go in this race. And Tiger trying to make his way back up the grid, and actually sets the fastest lap of the race. Finds himself right behind Bon Evil now. And is he maybe going to be looking for the move? He is. I think Bon Evil's not going to fight this one too hard, maybe, but she is. Cuts him off a little bit into turn one, and Bon Evil has to take to the escape road. Where she just disappeared on my screen.
Yeah,
Bon Evil literally just disappeared. She's now in P9.
She's just gone back. Yeah, then she just came back through turn one. P9, yeah. So that doesn't really make any sense.
No, very realistic.
Either way, she outbroke herself. She outbroke herself trying to defend against Tiger, but either way, I think that move was pretty inevitable, as Tiger now takes P5. So yeah, he's looking to close this distance that he has. to the front runners and finish where he usually does in his BCMR team.
Definitely is, yeah.
Yeah, but still I can't wrap my head over how good of a race Jetsy and Dan Schneider are having.
Yeah.
It's the first time we've seen them in these
I'm sorry,
podium finishes.
Tiger's looking for the move into Ascari, and he's made the move before the actual Ascari chicane, so good move from Tiger there. Just had a lot more overspeed and slipstream and makes his way up into P4, so good recovery from him after that incident into turn 1, and finds himself up in P4 at the moment.
Tiger wants to disrupt the Dutch triple Dutch podium and put a British flag on there. I mean, I'm okay with that because we're both British, so we're kind of rooting for that to happen. We're just gonna have to wait and see what Tiger can do with that BCMR car. Will he challenge Jetsy? I mean, it isn't that large of a gap to close down. So, just stay in this slipstream because it's really powerful around here. So
I'll tell you what. I was saying that Dan Schneider should have let Jetsy through, but he's actually now pulled a 1.4 second gap to him, and look how close he is to Dutchy. He's in with a great shot here. He's on a lot less fuel.
Oh yeah, I take that statement back. I take that statement back. I think Dan Schneider should be the main RS racing car there. As Dutchy is beginning to come under a bit of pressure from Dan Schneider. He's looking in his mirrors and he's seeing Dan Schneider fighting with that car all behind, getting that slipstream as well, because it's really powerful around this track, as most of it is just flat out, isn't it? So
yeah, it's one of those like Spa where it's the tempo of speed. I mean, in these cars it's obviously a bit less flat out than the likes of the F1 cars, but still very, very quick around this track. And I think Toussaint is going to try and make his way past Oriol here in P7 at the moment, and yeah, does pull out to the right hand side and should make that move before the Ascari chicane, and makes his way up into P6 now, so starting to look like a bit of a better weekend, a bit of a better race for the BCMR team here. And I think Oriol had a bit of a dodgy exit out of this Ascari chicane, and the Timgren is now right on the back of him, and Oriol dropping back a little bit here. So after a great start, making his way up into P2, is now dropping back, unfortunately, a little bit, and very unfortunate for him. But saying that there's too much Dutch on the podium was Pierre. I don't think that's a problem. I think that we love to see all these Dutch drivers on the top because it just makes for great racing. I mean, we haven't really seen Dan Schneider and Jetsy at the front at all, so it's a bit like the Bahrain Grand Prix. We're seeing guys at the front that we don't normally see at the front challenging for the win here, and unfortunately Dutchy is still leading the race. I say unfortunately, he's a great guy, and I love to see him winning races because he is a really talented driver, but we want to see other people win it. It's a bit like Hamilton, and Dan Schneider is Verstappen right now, looking for the move on him. So yeah, we want to see these guys fighting it out. I think someone got it a little bit wrong through the chicane there. I'm trying to figure out what that chicane is. The one that Bon Evil has literally just gone through, the one we're looking at, that chicane, the one that Natty's taken. I've completely forgotten what the name is. And Ivan actually down in P11, so not a great race so far from him. He had a bit of a better start to the race, but then obviously had that contact with Dutchy and dropped right down the field now. And there's a huge gap between Cryptek and Daniel Gardenzi towards the back of the field, but still very close between the top 8 here. And then there's a little bit of a gap to Bon Evil and Natty in the Forget Me Not Racing cars. Some great racing so far in this race, as Toussaint is now right on the back of Holland Campion, I believe that is, and I think Tiger was right on the back of Jetsy as well. So Tiger getting a little bit impatient here, wanting to get the move done on Jetsy and try and challenge Dan Schneider and play Dutchy. Currently 1-2 in this race.
As Holland Campion coming under pressure from Toussaint, as Toussaint pulls out to the right hand side going into this braking zone. What can Toussaint do? He's super late on the brakes, and Holland Campion Holland Campion, sorry, has nowhere to go as Toussaint makes up that move. That was also someone else getting past someone there. Yeah, it was, as Tiger has put his BCMR car onto the podium and has split this triple Dutch podium that was due to happen. And Tiger was said he wasn't having any of it, and and there's put himself up into P3. Sorry.
I think after that
so
contact,
what drive that was.
I think after that contact, Tiger's just seen red and he's absolutely going for it now, trying to close up to the back of Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider now dropped a little bit further back from Dutchy. Look at the tyre wear on Dutchy though. He's absolutely insane at managing his tyres, his fuel. He's got so much more fuel than anyone else, so much more tyre wear, but yet he's still lapping quicker than everybody else. I have no idea how he does it, but here comes Tiger, who is gaining on these lot. Toussaint is also gaining on Jetsy. Jetsy's got a slowdown penalty. I don't think that will matter anyway. Toussaint is right on the back of him, and Jetsy getting a bit wide out of on his exit.
And he's super low fuel and bad tyre wear for Jetsy as well, and a slowdown penalty.
Surely going to pit, isn't he?
Yeah.
Surely
not what he's wanting is Holland Campions starting to come under pressure from his teammate Tim Graham, as he is super close there, and the gap is literally nothing as Tim Graham pulls out to the right hand side, about to cross the line, and Tim Graham has pretty much made that move up already, and Holland Campion can now see him start to drive off into the distance. But anyway, moving back onto the front of the field, just seeing if Tiger is actually gaining on Dan Schneider, and I believe he is ever so slightly.
A little bit, but Dan Schneider's actually had a great lap
really
there.
Fine margins. Yeah, Dan Schneider is looking really, really strong around Monza today. Potentially might even put Dutchy under pressure, as the gap is literally 2 tenths. When did that happen?
Do you know what I think it is? I think that the BMW has such better cornering. I mean, look at the gap. So it went down from like 2 tenths, and now it's back up at 1.3. Maybe Dan Schneider having a little bit of a mistake there. But the Aston Martin is a lot quicker in a straight line, so I think Dan Schneider's gaining a lot on the straights and then maybe losing time in the corners. And he's very much like Verstappen here, because but it's the other way round, because normally the Mercedes is a lot quicker in a straight line, but the Red Bull has the better cornering. Brexit means Brexit. No, come on, we've got to allow the Netherlands drivers to have a good time. They're doing really well here. Look, Tiger's back up into the podium positions. Toussaint is as well, and Dan Schneider getting it all wrong. It was wide there,
a bit wide there into Ascari, and that's allowed this gap to Tiger to come down, and that is exactly what Tiger wanted to see today, as Tiger is looking to make this move up into P2, heading onto the straight.
Sorry, and he dives into the pits, doesn't he? All three of them. But yeah, sorry, man. Tekka said in the chat, knowing Tiger, he would have been insulting every driver with no chill. That doesn't sound like Tiger to me, but no, he definitely would have been. I think with that contact, I don't know if it was
only if you're not racing cleanly, sorry. Only if you're not racing cleanly does Tiger get really annoyed.
Yeah, he's not happy with the guys that don't race.
Always Daniel Gardenti getting it wrong for Ascari as well, running a bit wide. But yeah,
and that's going to allow, Daniel Gardenti is now going to look for the move on Oriol, his teammate, and makes the move down the inside into Parabolica, and that Oriol gets a bit onto the grass there, and not a great exit from him off Parabolica, but his teammate, they both come into the pits today. No, Oriol stays out.
As Toussaint got ahead of Tiger in the pits.
Oh yeah, but Toussaint's gone for slightly less fuel. But they're both on the super soft tyres now. I don't know if that will get them to the end of the race. I think it should, because they've got a lot of fuel.
And Schneider as well, falling behind Tiger. It's quite a bad pit stop for these drivers. The BCMR drivers, their strategies were flawless. I mean, Toussaint's come out in a podium position, followed very closely behind by his teammate Tiger. So BCMR having a brilliant recovery drive today. And so is Dutchy as well, obviously, from... was it P5 to P1? I can't remember exactly where he started.
I think it was about P5 P5, P4 maybe. He was still quite
He's
far
still
off the
yet
grid,
to pit though.
but he had a bad start, didn't he? I think Dutchy. I think I think he started P2, but he just had a really bad start, dropped down quite far
Oh yeah,
to like
that was
P6, and then he comes into the pits now. Actually, does Dutchy and I think Tim Graham will as well. He's got no fuel, so that will actually, if I tell you what, if Toussaint has had a really good outlap here, he could jump Dutchy in the pits. As Dutchy is now getting his car refueled, as Toussaint and Tiger both coming around Parabolica, and Tiger is right up behind Toussaint there. Thought he might have a look for the move, but I'm sure these guys are in the party chat together as they come through the last corner. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to come out ahead. Is the undercut going to work here? As Dutchy's coming out the pits now, and he's still massively ahead of these guys. How does he do this?
Well, as Tiger is looking for the move on his teammate, but doesn't. So clearly team orders were in place going into turn 1 there, as both drivers really trying not to disrupt each other's rate. So respect to that. Anyway, as you were saying, Dutchy coming out the pits. Dutchy coming out the pits with a 4-second advantage over these drivers. Tiger now is looking to the inside line of the second corner. Sorry, the curving one is and super late on the brakes. So as Tiger and puts himself up into second. There's Toussaint settled for third.
Launched on the curve there, did Tiger, but managed to keep all 4 wheels on the track. But did you say is it Curva Grande? That's the one I was thinking of. That was the one I was trying to think of the name.
That's like the swooping right hander. I thought you were talking about the one with the chicane.
Oh yeah, it is the chicane. The quick left right.
No, that's not Curva Grande.
Oh, is that like the one that's like flat?
Yeah.
Turn 2. Yeah, okay. I was getting a bit confused because the corners are a bit stupid on this track, because turn 2 is not really a corner. Curva Grande is just flat. Even in these cars, it's flat.
It's ever so slightly to the right, isn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit of a curve in the track. But I was trying to think of what that chicane's called. Like turn 3. That was.
Yeah, I don't even know. I think it's some Italian name. Does anyone in the chat know them?
Yeah,
that can help us out.
I was gonna look it up, but then I wouldn't have the chat open, so.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
But Dan Schneider is sort of back up into P4, and
Toussaint is looking to get back past. Sorry, Toussaint's looking to get back past his teammate, and Tiger leaves him the room to make this move. Toussaint has a really nice exit from Parabolica, which has allowed him now to challenge Tiger for second, but didn't have the braking capability right there, and had to settle for third. But now that has cost him a lot of time to Dan Schneider, who pulls out to the left hand side. Dan Schneider really wanting to get involved here, so thank you very much for that poor exit from turn 1, and Dan Schneider may be looking for this move, doesn't at this moment in time, and just has to brake quite sharply there to not make contact with Toussaint. But back to you, Ben.
Tekka say Natty is turning in his dog's grave after you not knowing all of Monza's corners. Right, I've watched F1 for a long time, and I know the majority of these corners. Like, I know the Lesmos, the Ascari, Parabolica, Ascari, but I do not know what that one is. I've completely forgotten it. I'm sorry that he's turning in his dog's grave, but I just can't remember. Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas and Dutchy. It's literally the same. It's literally the same, apart from the fact these two are British drivers. But Dutchy is the Flying Dutchman in this scenario, managing to keep his P1 for the move into Parabolica. And Toussaint maybe going to get this move done. He does. And gonna make his way up into P2 now, but I'm sure Tiger is gonna fight this back into turn 1, and Tim Grant actually might be getting involved in this battle, and Dan Schneider. Could Dan Schneider look for another double overtake? Come on, Dan, make another double overtake as he's pulled out towards the inside of both of them. Is he going to be able to make the move? He's going to have to be very superior under brakes if he wants to make this move. I think he should get Tiger, but doesn't. Decides to back out this one. A little bit of ghosting as they make their way through turn 1 and towards Curva Grande. Dan Schneider having to stay behind for now, but it's so close between, it's from second to P6. It is so close racing that we've got here, and is Tiger going to have a look for the move? into the chicane. Dan Schneider staying very close behind as well, having to brake a little bit there to avoid contact on the back of Tiger. And Tiger, he keeps launching it on the curb, does Tiger. I don't know if he's doing that on purpose to gain a little bit of time, or whether that was a little bit of a mistake from him. But Dan Schneider managing to stay very close, and another great race from him so far today. Having some great performances so far this season. Well, since we started in the Group 3 cars, he's been doing insanely well.
Yeah, it's made for some really great racing, I must say. But anyway, I thought the name of that chicane you were talking about, is it called like Roger or something?
Della Rogia. The Della Rogia chicane.
Is that what it is?
I'm sure I think so. If someone can tell me in the chat if it's the Della Rogers, I feel embarrassed now that I don't know.
I completely forgot what that term was called as well, to be honest with you, as Tiger is looking to make this move up on his teammate as well. This is not what BCMR should be really doing, as it's costing them time to Dan Schneider, who is the main threat at the moment. As Dutchy is 6.4 seconds out in the lead still. Dutchy doesn't need to worry about anyone making a move on him, but now Toussaint and Tiger need to work together, not battle each other, if they're trying to keep these podium finishes.
But they are battling, and Tiger
pulls out. Dan Schneider is looking to get involved as well. Tiger had to slip back behind Toussaint there, and Dan Schneider also had to slip past Tiger as a result of that. But yeah, we've only got 7 minutes here left. Still don't know who's going to be coming in second, third, fourth and fifth at this point. Really is super close between these drivers.
Yeah, and it could still be a double Dutch podium, remember, because Dan Schneider is a Dutch driver here. Jetsy also behind in P6 is his teammate in the RS Racing, both Dutch drivers. Jetsy a little bit further back now, but still very close to this battle, and anything can happen. We have 6 minutes remaining, so get your food and sit down and relax, because this is going to be a great end to the race here. As Toussaint and Tiger, we just still don't know who's going to be on the podium, do we? It's just so close between these guys.
Yeah, it's all super close between these drivers. Sorry that I'm just riding on board with Toussaint, who is still coming under a bit of pressure by his teammate behind.
Oh, sorry, Oriol got it all wrong there towards the back of the grid, and that's allowed Natty to go through and takes P10 there. As we're just having a look through the back of the grid, and Oriol just did not seem to be able to get power down. I think maybe missed his braking point there a little bit and went a little bit wide through the second Lesmo, and Natty makes his way up to P10, but Natty actually going a bit wayward into the Scar chicane.
A little bit wide there. I think that was Dan Schneider, and that's what Timgren wanted, is he's gaining a little bit of time on him. And Tiger is gaining a ton of time on his teammate as well. He's really liking the slipstream. So much so that he pulls out to the right hand side looking for a little look, but Toussaint really late on the brake saw that move coming, and Tiger wasn't able to make that move up on that occasion. But moving on to Jetsy, P6 is still a really good recovery drive by him. I know he was running up in P3 at one point, or P2 I believe, but
P3, yeah.
Even P6, from him spinning and turning around on the first lap, P6 is still a really solid recovery drive for him.
Yeah, definitely. I think that would be his best points finish so far in the Gavra GT Sport League.
And
almost the commentator's curse almost instantly. As,
let's just not mention him.
Yeah, let's stay away from
this race.
No offense, but yeah, I want you to do well, mate. That's the only reason we don't want to keep talking about you.
Don't even say his name, is too dangerous.
Too dangerous. Living on the edge is Jetsy there, but yeah, some of these guys making their way towards the Ascari chicane. I thought Tiger was going to have a look there. He's so close behind Toussaint, thinking he can maybe get past, and I think, so I'm going to guess at the podium here, I'm going to say that Tiger's going to manage to get past Toussaint, because Toussaint's got slightly less fuel. Tiger now going to look for the move, going into parabolic. He keeps pulling out and not quite making the move, but Dan Schneider looked for it. Dan Schneider was cutting
someone get on the grass there, yeah. Dan Schneider turning into a lawnmower there for a few seconds, cutting that chicane a little bit. And it's kind of allowed Timgren to gain a little bit of time on him, nothing major, but still, if Dan Schneider isn't correct on the brakes into turn 1, the Timgren may be able to take advantage of that opportunity there. As Tiger also looking for the move
but
on
Timgren does
Tucson.
try and send it down the inside there, but now going to try and switch it back, do the old switcheroo as Crofty would say, but doesn't quite manage to get it there. It's a very tight chicane into turn 1. And there's such close racing between these guys.
Natty is racing Oriole here, completely drag racing it down into turn 1 on the straight. And both of them really late on the brakes, but who's going to come up better in this situation? It will be Natty racing for Forget Me Not Racing. So even if Natty can get a point here today, that's kind of what he's aiming for after this terrible weekend he's having. But it's getting even worse now, as Oriole is also looking to take that last point down in P10, so Natty needs to be really careful about how can he defend against this move. Oriole, I thought Oriole was making a move there, he wasn't. But Natty drifting it through that corner there. Not the best of races for Natty, as we usually see him up in the higher places, and Bonnie as well. Bonnie down in P8.
Yeah, and
she's usually up
the start of the
season.
Start of the season they were doing so great in the Group 4 cars, and they've not done as good in the Group 3 cars. Very unfortunate for the team. And in the crucial constructors points that they get from each race, hopefully they'll be able to pull it back. Now we go to the Group 2 races next week, but with only 2 minutes remaining, I tell you what, Timgren is right on the back of Dan Schneider now. And Dan Schneider dropped a little bit further back from Tiger, and that's really going to put him under pressure, as Timgren's going to have a much larger slipstream advantage on Dan Schneider. Surely going to be looking for the move into turn 1, is he? As Tiger is also looking for the move on Tucson. I think these guys might be working together there, but Timgren's going to try and send it down the inside, and Dan Schneider gets a little bit pinched on the inside of the curb, but Timgren's gone wide, and he's off, and Jetsy's gone through, made his way up into P5. And that's really bad
so unfortunate for Timgren there. As I believe that was Oriole getting past Natty. These guys have been wheel to wheel for almost a full lap. Actually, not like half a lap, sorry, not a full lap. As Oriole defends his possession very well against Natty.
I don't know if
P10, but that is so unfortunate for Timgren. Who just had to cut that curb there. I didn't quite see what happened. I just heard you commentating on it, but either way, that's not what he wanted.
Saying that we're going to have an angry Tim in the chat later. Well, I hope not. Timgren, I don't know if that was a racing incident. I don't really know if it was his fault. I thought that, if anything, Timgren kind of pushed, well, not pushed, but he didn't really leave a lot of room for Dan Schneider on the inside. I thought it was kind of just a racing incident, as Timgren was looking for the move. I thought it was fairly clean racing. We didn't have the best angle on it there, but does allow Jetsy up into P5 now, and Timgren's going to definitely want to salvage as many points as he can for the Flying Campions team. Holland Campion actually in P7 as well, so would be still some good points for the team.
As that is Daniel Gardenzi, so getting past Cryptec for P12, so that was a good move by him. Oriole coming under all sorts of pressures behind from Natty. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that in the last 20 seconds of this race, as Oriole drifts a bit wide for Ascari there. And cost himself some time to Natty behind. This is super close. I can't tell, is this the last lap on it?
It will be, yeah. As
so these guys are racing to the line.
Yeah, and
so much action at the back of
Jetsy and the Timgren are fighting. But he's had to slow down, and Jetsy's got a penalty. And that's so bad on the last lap that Jetsy's got a slowdown penalty of a whole second, and he's had to allow a Timgren through, so that's crucial for the constructors'
Natty
championship.
Finishes ahead of Oriole, potentially by a penalty, I'm not too sure, but either way, Natty completely drifting around Parabolica there at the end. That was really...
but Bon Evil and Holland Campion, sorry to interrupt you, but Bon Evil is now going to look for the move on Holland Campion as they make their way into De La Rocha Chicane. Is Bon Evil going to have the inside line? She is on Holland Campion. This is crucial points for both teams here. Bon Evil has made the move up into P7, but Pirate was saying that it's only British and Dutch drivers, but it's actually not, because Timgren is Finnish, I believe, unless his flag's just wrong, but I'm pretty sure that he's Finnish, so I'm sure that's the finish flag because Raikkonen and Bottas run it. But yeah, as Duchy is now making his way towards Parabolica to take yet another win. He's had a little bit of a hiccup last weekend from Toussaint managing to grab the win. Toussaint having a great recovery drive though up into P2. Is now Tiger maybe going to look for the move into the last into Parabolica, sorry, on the final lap, but it's just going to stay behind his teammate. Maybe some team orders going on there for the championship. But Duchy takes the win, and another great race from him there as we end 28 laps of Monza, and Toussaint does grab P2 in the end there. Great race from Dan Schneider managing to grab P4. Tim Gren, unfortunate for him, could have been a P4 but does have to settle for P5. Jetsy in his best finish of this league managing to grab P6. Very promising race from
solid
him.
drive by Jetsy. Solid drive by all of these drivers really, by Toussaint, Tiger, Duchy even as well.
And Body grabs P7 with Holland Campion in P8. Could have been a lot better for Holland Campion. He did have a very good race up until kind of the end of the race where he just fell off a little bit, and Ifin, after having that contact as well, manages to grab P9. Natty in 10th, Oriole in 11th, I think that was Cryptek in P12, and I didn't quite see the end of the grid, but I believe it was Daniel Gardenzi in 13th, and Webson's, the replacement driver for Tobster, rounding off the grid in 14th place, but it is another win for Play Duchy, and yeah, it's been I think that's one of the best races we've seen there. That was so close.
That was a
we
really
didn't
good
know
race.
Who was going to win.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching the stream and tuning in. Hopefully you can next week for the next track, which is do you know what the next track is, bro?
Oh, I did. I think it's another one that's
question,
on F1.
Isn't it? It's a good question.
I think it's another one that's on the game. It is the Nürburgring, so it's not actually
it is. It's
on
the Nürburgring.
But yeah, it's
a really
be
difficult
a
track to master, so definitely be sure to tune in same time next week to join us for that one. But yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, and Castengel's turning up at the last minute. You missed a lot of racing, so you might want to go back and watch this one once it's on YouTube. But yeah, thank you very much for everyone joining, and we'll be back for Group 2 action around the Nürburgring for next weekend, so it should be a great race there. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time.